married my sister, now we're living together. Roommates in law.
Roommates in law, guys. Bad news. Boy, we were just riffing up for the pod.
Why is that bad news?
Because we should have hit the record button on some of these goddamn.
Well, I got some good news for our
us.
dear sweet listeners over there in roommates in law land. Is we got riffs for days. I mean, we do have riffs for hours. I don't know about days.
Exactly 1 hour. Sometimes
we have riffs for 57 minutes.
45 minutes to an hour. We're hitting Riff City pretty hard. The big news coming out of Ridgewood right now is that we're not even roommates.
No, we're not even in-laws, and that's news coming out of Costa Rica. That's right.
Costa Rica, a little place in Hawaii. A lot of people don't know about.
Yes, where the beer flows like wine and the women instinctively flock like the salmon of Ridgewood.
Ridgewood, Queens. That's actually where a guy, one of the Kennedys, was eaten by an indigenous tribe there in Maui, right where you're at.
Oh, in Maui. Yes. Is that how one of the Kennedys died?
No, it was the Galapagos, and he kept trying to contact an uncontactable tribe, and they were like, "Hey, buddy,
we're uncontactable for a reason."
Uncontactable?
Is that the word that you said?
It is what I said.
Okay, good, because when I said it, it sounded dumb.
Right? Yeah.
I was like,
out
wait.
Of my mouth bad? You know when you shoot a shot and you're like, that came off wrong, and it's like all backboard? That one felt a little goofy, and then when you said it back, I was like, nope, no good.
It really did feel like a free throw that went over the hoop or over the backboard.
Boy. Rewatching that game tape was pretty brutes. Uncontactable.
Untraceable. Incontactable. Incontactable. Yeah,
boy, there's got to be a word there.
Off the grid.
Let's just stick with off the grid. Tribe that does not want to be contacted.
That's tribe the rumor, that's just being like chill as fuck.
Oh, it's just uncontacted.
Well, no, but that wouldn't mean the same thing. Uncontacted would mean no one's contacted them in the past. Uncontactable would be it's not possible.
Well, I mean, I guess you can contact anybody, right?
I'm honestly in 2024. I'm trying to be uncontactable.
God, I just have to know. It's such a goofy ass sounding.
I know. It feels like I'm like having a stroke every time I say it.
Yeah, it's uncontacted tribes.
Okay.
Well. Uncontactable. No, uncontactable. Right there. Not able to be contacted by phone or other means.
There we go. Yes.
You're without a phone and uncontactable. Well, that just does not come off the tongue, Tom. So let's see. You're in Costa Rica. How we doing, Tom?
I'm on a little family vacay. I'm doing great. I do love that there's a picture of the ocean behind me right now. I'm just noticing this. And then look at what's out the window is like the real version of it.
Well, I can't see anything outside of that window. Looks pretty dark there. I also do love the version of there was like a certain time and like cheesy art where they thought if they broke it up into 3 panels, it was like sick.
What is to quote one of my good friends, Jerry Seinfeld, what is the deal with with panel wall art?
I think they just want you. I think that's where they let your creativity take over, and they're like, "Hey, man, you can like have these as uneven as you want," and then people see them and they go, "Damn, that's still the beach, though."
And this one, they were like, "No, we're gonna keep them. We're gonna pretend it's all one. We're gonna put them."
Yeah, I think whoever owns wherever the place y'all are at got those in. They're like, "Well, what the fuck is this?"
This is my new spot. I bought it.
Oh, you closed?
Yeah, dude. Ticket sales in Minneapolis were really good this weekend, so I bought a $17 million beach house.
Well, that's wild because I knew you were under escrow. I didn't know it closed that quickly. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. What is it?
Well done.
What's escrow again? Isn't that a type of shrimp?
Oh, no, you're thinking of the large shrimp, and those are actually called prawns.
No, escargot. What's that?
Oh, well, I believe that's snail.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. Yes, I'm snail.
You're in escargot? Trying to sound classy to somebody. You're like,
yeah.
We'll have another round of the escrow.
And then you turn back to the party and you're like, so anyways, yeah, I'm in escargot on a couple properties.
So
confident,
confidently or
ignorance?
arrogantly?
No, arrogant. Yeah, arrogantly confident. That's
arrogantly. No. arrogantly confident would be pretty close. Unearned arrogance is what we're looking for.
Unearned
Tom.
arrogance is what we're looking for.
Boy, we really churched up, or I did, all of our hot riffs before the pod, and then we're trying to figure out what uncontactable means. And
we had a couple of fun ones. Oh, I was about to tell you this, but this is fun. My family, I've got most of my big ass family. Just
all immediate.
Huge family.
Fucking so fucking big, dude. My immediate family fucking huge, dude.
We got like 14 of us down here. And,
okay.
Yeah, and they're all pod listeners, so shout out to the fam. But it's like I'm like, hey, I need the bedroom with the good Wi-Fi for the pod, and everyone clears out, and it kind of means the world to me.
They're like, we just want to hear Tim rip on Tom's mom one more time.
Oh, you got it. I think we got to clear that up, by the way.
I've been contacted
to it, and
that I get bullied by Thomas's mother. She bullied me exactly one time, and it was tongue in cheek. It was in jest,
but it was a great line, and that's what, Mom. That's what you have to realize. That's why you're living on in infamy on the pod.
Tier line.
It was a great line, and you have to appreciate that. Also, am I still coming through my microphone here?
Yeah, you sound fine. Classic Costa Rica problems we're having here, folks.
Before we restart, let me just
okay,
text the group and say, get the off the Wi-Fi.
Yeah, watch Terminator another time. Sorry, it's 35 years old. You should have already seen it.
They're all watching we all come to Costa Rica to watch all of the Terminators.
It's a big James Cameron just fiesta.
Is it only Terminator 1 and 2, or are there 3?
I think there's like 12 of them, but 2 was the best. 1 is still solid. The rest of them are just sequels, essentially. They just start really milking that teat. But 2, I would say, is the best. I mean, come on. Judgment Day. Get out of town, Tom.
All right. I've never seen it, but that's because it's a movie that you like.
T1000. So if I made T1000 references, you wouldn't know what I'm talking about?
I'd go, yeah, I had that calculator in high school.
Oh, don't you make a T183 fucking reference right at me. Shout out Texas Instruments.
That wasn't that product. Bad. They make a great later.
Dude, dude, remember in high school when those they were like $9,000? You can pick one up for about $180 right now.
You had to like we had like one that would get passed through our family.
Yes. And you scratched out the name that was on it, and it was always in it, and that Sharpie marker that was on it.
It's called a Sharpie.
Well, no, they had the markers of it where it was like kind of
like the thick
one.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Or was it more paint?
I think me and my sister overlapped where we both needed one, and I had to buy a new one, and that was drama.
And your dad's like, I guess I'll just work 100 more hours this week. God damn it.
We got to put a down payment down on this 8% APR financing.
He's like, no, we're covering all the textbooks and trash bags this year. Tom needs a calculator.
Tom needs a T1000 Terminator 2.
Oh my God, he's made of liquid metal. Tom, you don't remember this? A classic roll?
No, I know the references because I've seen enough of the clips. But
you're that in tune and with pop culture enough to know who T1000 is.
Yeah, dude, I'm dialed in.
All right.
I also can I call out one of my sisters for this passive aggressive comment real quick?
Oh boy, absolutely.
I text a group of them. I go, hey, can you log off the Wi-Fi for an hour? I'm getting a tough signal for the world famous pod. I immediately get a response from one of them. It just says not on the Wi-Fi. Well, yeah, I texted a group. I'm not saying you're all on it.
Yeah, well, I wasn't accusing you specifically.
Exactly.
Just kind of a blanket thing going on.
It's a group thing. We've had this before.
Not on the fucking Wi-Fi. Sorry, I'm actually feeding my child right now, Tom. I'm not desperate for Wi-Fi like you are.
If it was one of the mothers, I would not have called her out, but it was not one of the mothers.
Ooh, yeah, that's
right. That's right, sister number 4. You know who you are.
You fucked up, number 4. Tom, what is that you're drinking? Is that a lemonade?
No, I'm drinking a little gin and soda with a little mango juice in it.
Mango juice is what I'm seeing.
It's in Gin and Tommy on the Beach.
Yes. That name's got to stick. At some point, when you're at a club, you got to get them to start serving Gin and Tommy's.
Well, yeah, if I ever headline and they do the custom, drinks or whatever, that just
needs to be in your rider. I need cashews, and I need everyone in the audience drunk on Gin and Tommy's.
Oh, can I tell you, this cashews just reminded me of this.
Well, I'm pumped for this.
Sorry. I got this whole chunk on nuts, dude. No, I had a riff in a text to a dear friend of ours that like fell flat and it hurt in a way like that I was so mad about. Oh wait, huh? I'm gonna have to.
Uh-oh.
Well,
You editing that out?
Well, no.
Over a cashew riff?
No, it's fine.
What
It's
kind of
fine. It's
friend
fine.
is
It's fine.
this? They can't
Basically,
take a cashew riff?
All right, so I was with our good friend Jeffrey Osmus all weekend in
Yeah, he
Minneapolis.
listens to the pod.
We were not worried about offending him. If there's anything I could do to offend him, I would love to.
Please
do
let
that.
us know. It'd be
What-
amazing.
Yeah. But one thing that we're both from Minnesota, so it's like, and we're co-headlining, and Jeff, he likes to do about 4 or 5 days on every
Right.
show.
Right.
And I'm, we each want to do basically like 40 minutes.
Okay.
So like that doesn't leave a lot of room on the rest of the show. So we're doing
guesties, host
quick
spot.
host, quick guesty, and then I'm going up, and then Jeff's going up because they're hot crowds. They're fun. It was all sold out stuff. It's like it's gonna just be fun no matter what.
Hot, juicy room. Yeah.
So there's only one guestie on each show, and we're both from Minnesota, so we each get about 300 requests from comics to do guesties,
Yeah.
which
You got Winky hitting it?
we love. Winky hit one of them. Yeah, and
Let's
he did
go.
great. Shout out Grant Winkles. Brian
We
Call
love
did
Wink.
one. Chloe Radcliffe was in town.
Oh, no way. Love
Yep.
that.
That was a hot one. That was super fun. She loves you, by the way. Shout out Chloe Radcliffe. Shout out Tim Smith.
Love that.
And then on Sunday, I get a text. We already had the guest spot locked up, and I get a text from Jeff. He goes, "Hey, this guy Sam Almond asked for a guest spot," and I said, "Sorry, I already got Ricky Peanuts doing one." Come on, Ricky Peanuts, pretty good.
Oh, Tom, sometimes
not
on
bad.
a pod, my eyes are starting to water. Sometimes right when you said almond, I was
Yeah,
like,
you
oh,
knew.
no.
But then here's the thing: Jeff left me on red for like an hour, and then I had to text again and be like, "Oh yeah, but no, we already have someone else. Sorry."
Jeff's early going, what the hell is Jimmy on Peanuts? Jeff's just Googling Jimmy Peanuts.
Ricky Peanuts.
Ricky P.
Ricky Peanuts is fun.
Man, right when you
Sam
said
Ullman
almond.
asked to do a spot, and I go, "Sorry, we've already got Ricky Peanuts." That's
Come
fun,
on.
dude.
There are some realities, and it's the reality that I live in, where that's a 10 out of 10.
Thank
That's a
you,
home
dude.
run, Tom. I'm sorry.
and then the
I think I would
feeling-
throw my phone into the river if I got that text. I'm like, I'm done. He hit me with a Ricky Peanuts riff.
But then the feeling of it just falling, and we had texted back like 6 times back and forth right before that, and then I threw Ricky Peanuts, and it just went to nothing. And he goes, and then we saw each other in person. I go, "By the way, dude, you gave me nothing on Ricky Peanuts."
Nothing on Ricky Peanuts. Oh,
And he goes, "I was eating dinner with my mom. I was having a hot dog with my mom."
having a hot dog with your mother. I don't know
Yeah.
whose fault that is.
I was telling everyone in the back of the room the whole weekend. I go, the line that makes me laugh more than anything in Jeff's act is one of his premises is the other day I was having a hot dog with my mom.
I mean,
I think it was with you originally in Comedy on State when we were laughing about this.
I think it's got to be that's his mom's fault.
Well, they weren't. It's a made up premise.
Oh. Okay. I forget that Jeff doesn't speak his truth on stage. Sorry.
That's a made up. He was not having a hot dog with his mother. No one has ever had a hot dog with their mom.
Oh, forgive me for thinking Jeff lives a weird life.
I think it's so funny
I
because
mean, hey, look, when he's talking about sucking a dog's dick, I'll give you that one. That one's not true. But a hot dog with his mother seems pretty tame for
sucking
G-Free.
a dog's dick might be more true than a hot dog with mom.
Jeff having anything that resembles a balanced meal is more untrue.
Yeah, but we are back. Sorry, we had a little Wi-Fi cutout. But dude, my overall message of New Year's, I want to hear what you did for New Year's. But mine was basically I got to do 7 sold out shows with our good friend Jeffrey, and I just was like filled with gratitude when I was flying. I was on this plane on Monday right after. I barely slept, but it's such a fun weekend. And like you just think about like we're gonna be doing this for so many years, and we, in the grand scheme of things, the percentage of times that we get to do it with a good friend is so low.
Closer to zero than anything.
Exactly. That I was like, it was very cool that we got to do this. And yeah, it was just super fun. Shout out to Jeff too, because he probably sold 80% of the tickets and could have just headlined. And we did it.
Yeah, but he also knows it, like where it's like it's just way more fun.
It's so much fun. And we're
doing
there. I mean, we're doing so many local references, little callbacks between sets where he knew I was going to set up one thing and then he could call it back. And it was like, it's
so
just
to
like,
kids.
Yeah. And then we got to do New Year's. This is the first time I've ever worked New Year's.
Mm-hmm.
Had never done it before.
I was on a plane, but I was riffing pretty hard with the guy.
You were working. You were doing time. We did like he ended his set at 11:40 and then we got up and did like 20 minutes of like asking the crowd their New Year's resolutions, little riffing, poured everyone champagne in the crowd, and then we all did a big countdown.
Fun. Were you wearing some 2024 sparkly glasses?
No, I was kind of pissed. They didn't get any decorations.
No hat?
I kind of thought the club would maybe have some stuff because they were like, oh, we do a big champagne thing. But it was just the champagne thing.
It's just champagne flutes with
not
$7 bottle where it says like Moet on it, and it's a real piece of shit.
Dude, I'm pretty sure it was Cook's. I think it was these were $3.50 bottles. And not even flutes, just little cups.
Okay. Well, you don't do it that big wherever you were at. Incredible.
It was in Montana.
That is very, very fun. That is like when you're sitting in the green room with like a buddy. It's almost, I mean, this is like extreme, an analogy, but it's, I mean, you're like I feel like you're in World War I. You're like, it's enemy territory out there. This is my problem with comedies. This is how I view a show.
Yeah, you're like, I'm going into absolute war right now.
All right, it's me versus them. Why do I view life that way? I'm in desperate need of therapy. That was like my first takeaway when I got back to New York because I was just exhausted. Okay, anyway, hold on. I'm having a lot of like
spiraling right now live on the pod.
I don't know what I'm doing. I've been doing this a lot lately. I shout out to betterhelp.com.
No, don't shout them out because you've never used it.
Hey, but they help some people. Actually, they sell your information. It's a horrible service.
And the rest of the internet sites are not selling anything.
Nope. Yeah, but I'm not trying to get my mental health better through Instagram.com.
Yeah, well,
that's kind of the exact opposite.
I follow a bunch of the meme pages that are like express yourself.
Damn, it's like wherever you are, that's where you need to be. And I'm like, damn, I'm gonna like that.
I will like that. Maybe I'll even share it to my close friend story. Not the main one though.
Tom, how about this shit? I learned a lesson that you learned long ago.
Okay.
You and I.
Wait, let me guess.
Never gonna guess it.
Don't lie about its length.
No.
Okay.
Girth, but length isn't as important. Girth is where it's at. So I don't have that going for me either. But I learned that I am not cut out to be a doctor, like, at all.
Oh, yeah. Good. I'm glad you finally learned the lesson.
Even a little bit.
Couldn't be going through the rest of your life thinking that was on the table.
I'm just looking at these
thinking that was on the operating table.
Like, Tim Smith, MD, not bad. It's no Ricky Cashews, but it's not bad.
Ricky Peanuts, dude.
Ricky Peanuts. But we're sitting, so I'm doing this show in New Orleans. Similar thing. I got to do a show with some dudes I'd never done shows with. Pals, met a comic for the first time, who I think is really funny. Shout out Graham K.
Super funny, dude. New York guy, really? Right?
Yeah. Yeah. But they were in New Orleans.
Oh, sweet.
And so I was there and was like, oh, let's hit the motherfucking hang button, come do this show.
Yes.
So we're standing, the first comic's up. I'm standing, we're all standing in the back near the bar. Guy fully passes out in the back of the room, starts seizing out in the back. And this is like the worst instinct of all. I'm going to die in a really stupid way because like, I was just like, but my first thought wasn't like, grab his head, make sure his feet are up. I don't know, call somebody. I was like,
those would have been the right things.
Yeah, but I was like, snap out of it. It was the first thing I thought.
Nah, he looks healthy. He'll bounce back.
I didn't even put my beer down, Tom. I did move closer, but then like somebody grabbed his head, and I was like, "Hey, we should probably be calling somebody." Like that's such a horrible first instinct.
But
I'm gonna die by like getting like run over by like a boulder that was rolling down a hill for 3 miles, and I kept being like, that'll change course. Oops, got hit by the boulder. I felt like such an idiot because he. But here's the thing:
also,
this is the
boulder
horrible
deaths
thing.
have been up this year, so don't really joke about that because a lot of people are.
Actually, correction: landslide deaths have been up, not boulder deaths.
No, comically large boulders that are perfectly spherical that roll down a large track for a while, and then instead of getting out of the way, the person runs away from it, like directly, but in the line.
I've also heard that like a lot of deaths are being caused by a coyote lighting off a bunch of TNT.
You ever had an anvil fall on you? That's Mulaney's. I love Mulaney's joke where he's like, I used to think quicksand would have been a much bigger problem.
Much bigger problem.
When I was a kid, the biggest concerns in life were like quicksand and giant anvils falling from the sky.
So Tom, this is like some real New Orleans shit. He hits the ground. It's not really like a full like, like he just doesn't go. His like knees kind of gave out a little bit, and
was he
kind of
standing?
Yes, he kind of just slow motioned his way to the ground.
Yeah,
and then he's laying on the ground having a seizure, and I'm going, that'll be fine.
What does he look like as he's seizing? Are all of his legs and limbs?
No, it's not all fully straight. I mean, it's everything's a little bent, but you can tell his head's kind of doing it's all of his limbs are.
His eyes rolling back?
It's pretty dark in there. I didn't really get close enough. I just got enough fresh Miller Light. I didn't want to leave it.
Didn't want to get too close. Spill a little bit of it.
I was like, hey, that's a freshie. Will you leave that thing? But in true New Orleans fashion, he snaps out of it, stands right back up. Hey, sorry about that. Goes right back to his seat and is a great audience member the whole time.
Wow.
Is that epilepsy? I think that's epilepsy.
Well, it could be. It could be a faint. It could be a vasovagal reaction.
It wasn't a faint. A faint usually hits a little harder, and you kind of come back to life, and you're like he was fully. It wasn't like what happened. He was just like, oh shit, sorry about that. Went right back to his seat.
Yeah, maybe he's epileptic.
Man, it was a wild thing. And then I'm sitting there going, I am not the person you want.
No. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Well, you're back.
Yeah.
Right away.
Hey, Tom. Tom. I never left.
Sorry. Whoa, damn. Yeah, well, you left that guy dying on the ground.
I most certainly did. No, I didn't even leave him. I was standing out. I was watching a man die. Yeah.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Yeah, I mean, dude, that's why I get so proud when I see my family, like when I saw my little sister last year on the way down to Costa Rica last year, and she stepped in and caught that girl as she was fainting on the plane. I was
amazing.
Like, damn, you just like have that dog in you.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. That's what I realized. I was like, no dog whatsoever.
No dog. You got a little gerbil in you running around in circles.
I mean, to quote a great woman, I'd make a great dad because I don't care about a lot of stuff.
We're not going to quote who that was, but she is. She paid for this house.
But I was like, God damn it. And also in true New Orleans fashion, didn't spill his drink.
How?
Hand stayed straight up. Didn't spill his drink.
Fuck?
It was kind of incredible. When he got up and like kept moving, it was awesome.
Yeah, so maybe this has happened to him before. Because, I mean we've talked about this on the pod before, but when I fainted in that bar with all of our friends, I couldn't get out of there quick enough.
But you bail immediately.
I wasn't hanging out. I was
he didn't even
let me go get a Gatorade and get in bed.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a, God, I'm so sorry. I have a thing. None of that. He's just, oh yeah, sorry about that. Boom, back to his seat. Amazing.
It would have been awesome if he like checked the stool, like the bar stool, like to make sure it was solid still.
He's like, is this thing regulation size or what?
Like knocks on it a few times. He's like, yeah, that was the problem.
Yeah, it's this stool. Stool stinks. Anyway, have a great show, guys. But shout out to that
meanwhile,
guy
you're in the back going, does this cut into our time at all? Are we all doing 8?
No, Tom, you want to know even worse? What? I was cooking up riffs. I hit him with like 3 hot riffs when I got up because I'm up next. And this is like what a disaster comedy turns your brain into. I was like, oh man, I got to
address this. Yeah. You're like a doctor's brain goes, I gotta fix this. Your brain goes, I gotta address this for the rest of the room.
I mean, I got to get a couple of hot ones out.
Hey, dude, guess what? You're making light of a situation that maybe everyone's stressed about, and also it's been said, laughter is the best medicine. So
Damn, dude, we must follow the same meme page.
think about that, Dad. Yeah, the meme page is called "I realized I couldn't be a doctor."
It's just me and you. We're the only ones that post memes on it.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah,
just posted a guy having an epileptic seizure, and the captions, not for me.
this ain't it.
0 out of 10, guys.
This week's 0 of the week. I do have.
I mean,
a
I
zero
gotta I'll
candidate.
toss him a hero if I'm allowed to.
Sure.
Popping up, heading back into the audience, being a great audience member. I mean, what in dang tarnation? That's
I
insane.
love that.
The only time I passed out, you know this, Tom. I've discussed this on the POD. I was getting my dang haircut, so I wasn't allowed to run out. I had to sit there and finish my haircut and have one of the more humiliating experiences of my life.
That is like a top 5 worst scenario to have anything bad happen to you, because you're like, I can't leave without this haircut being done.
I mean, I would have looked insane.
Yeah, I mean, that's why haircuts are such a hilarious social interaction, because you're like, you have my life kind of in your hands.
Mm-hmm.
If
Kind of
anything
no more-
happens,
yeah.
I'm not leaving till this is done.
Where's another place where you're more vulnerable?
On the crapper.
Yeah, but at least you could pull up your little trousers.
And no one else is involved, hopefully.
Yeah, you're in a locked little room. Yeah.
I mean, that's why when you get walked in on in the bathroom, it's like it's like the craziest.
Yeah.
Someone's in here.
Someone's in here. But yeah, I don't know. That one stuck with me a little bit, but then I got up and riffed on it, and 2 new jokes worked, and I forgot all about that guy.
There we go. That guy's dead somewhere now. Shout out to him.
Shout out that guy. Appreciate you being a good audience member. Also, another beautiful thing about New Orleans, I wanted to bring this up. I would say, and I don't know if this is like going to be great phrasing or anything, but just trying to catch with what I'm saying here. I think this was the first like truly diverse audience I've ever really performed in front of. Like true diversity, where like everyone in the audience, none of them looked like they would have ever been friends with
Like,
anybody else in the audience.
We're talking walks of life here.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They all looked different, dressed different, different ages, came in different numbers of people.
Yeah.
I was like, well, this is the weirdest group of people.
Probably fun as hell.
Fun as hell.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Shout out New Orleans. Shout out to the Dragon's Den, Vincent Zambon, and Comedy. Fuck yeah.
Oh, wow. That dude. Yeah. I met that dude a few years ago. That room is cool.
It's a very like New Orleans room, because it's like a piece of shit.
I did do one where I think we were trading off with drag queens, and it was rough.
Sure, that's always tough.
Yeah.
That's a very different energy. Also, shout out Dave Ross.
And that was horrific.
Graham K for
comedy. I was like a year in, and I was like following a sold out drag show, and I was like,
You're like,
I don't have any riffs for this.
I'm gonna yell at him and then eat some tots off the table in the front row.
I have a 4-minute bit on the Spice Girls that they might like, though.
How'd that one go?
Not well.
Not well. All right,
Not
what you
Tim.
got, Tomas? I mean,
I had an interesting journey down here. I flew down here on the 1st of the year. I'm coming into this year with a positive mindset, posi set.
Right.
Can we get that shorter? Z set.
Z's P set.
P set. Yeah, posi mindset. Yeah,
P set.
P set. 8.
I think I just threw up the white power sign.
you did. I tried to say the old.
I was going for that was supposed to be like a. Well, that's a back. It's supposed to be a P. No, that's the
What are you
wrong way
doing?
too. E. I don't know.
And then
I was trying to make up a cool gang sign.
wait, how do you do an S again? Oh, like
That's a lot of work, though.
hell yeah, yeah. That was I can't hold the mic and do that. Anyways,
Our
for
audio listeners absolutely riveted right now. Sorry about that. We're trying to make gang signs with our hands, folks.
Sorry, folks. Yeah. Sorry. Tim recently performed in front of a diverse audience. He's trying to make gang signs now.
Oh, what a tough look. I knew that wasn't the right way to phrase it. And you'd see some of these New York
I get
crowds,
what you're saying. It's
these
like
Brooklyn crowds, they look different, but they're the same.
it's everyone lives in the same area. and has
Same
been there for
shit.
a while. I get what you're saying with the actual different walks of life audience is very fun.
Very different people. But you know what all brings them together, Tom? It's the beauty of them. They're all bound to have a
guy
good
dying
time.
in the back of the room.
They all witnessed a man die.
Trauma bonding, Tim. That's what that's called.
Like, is this guy seriously riffing on this? Ah, damn it, these are hot. Damn, these are hot.
These are
riffs.
good. That's 3 of them. Man, he definitely wrote these instead of helping.
Is that off the top of his head? The fuck?
Anyway, so I'm flying down here filled with gratitude after a fun weekend with our friend. And guess what? I get upgraded to first class for the first time in my life on a real first class flight.
Is there any better timing in the world, Tom?
It was crazy. It happened like 3 days in advance too. Like I got the notification. I got the notification when I was flying back from Aspen, and I was on my 4th canceled flight of the day.
Okay. All right. So they tossed you a bone.
I'm in the Aspen airport, like losing my mind. Like,
how long were you in the Aspen airport?
Well, I was in the Aspen airport for 2.5 hours.
Not bad.
And this is 3 hours after my original flight, but luckily that one got canceled before I left for the airport. But then I was there for 2.5 hours, and then I was in the Denver airport for 4.5 hours.
That's where it starts to hurt.
On another delay.
Yeah.
And yeah, it really hurt because I had to just post up in the lounge and have some free drinks and food. And it was like it was a really hard day for me.
Okay, hold on. Let me get the trauma that you were experiencing correct. So you were leaving Aspen.
Yeah.
One, brutal. And then you had to hang out in the lounge all day to wait to go to Costa Rica?
It was hard, dude.
Fuck.
Really, really, really hard. I just lose my fucking shit.
This is like why it's pretty beautiful that you're going in with some gratitude, because you experienced some real hardship there.
I've had a really hard week.
I mean, you took your skis off and had to put your dang swim trunks on, Tom.
I know. I get that. Was going back to Minnesota, but anyways,
hey, just let the riff stay alive.
I know.
Tom.
I didn't call it out right away. You know, I kept trying to fake.
Yeah, you gave it 3 to 8 seconds.
As I'm waiting to get on another flight, I'm getting fucked over by United in Denver. Delta comes through. It's almost like they knew. Delta came through with a little message that said, "You've been upgraded to first class on your flight to Costa Rica." And I was like, wow. It was almost like they were like, hey, don't ever think about flying United again.
Like, hey, we'll take care of you over here at Delta.
We see what you're doing. Don't think about it.
We know what you just went through.
It's when the mob boss like gives you, like, loans you the extra cash, but they're like, there are strings attached. Like, if I go back to United now, someone's going to break my kneecaps.
Well, they're just going to have the air marshal blow your brains out.
So I get on this flight feeling amazing. I sit down. I'm in the first row of first class. First time ever in a real
leg room.
The only other time that happened to me was going from Cleveland to New York, and it was like one of those tiny planes where like the seats aren't different in first class.
That's not the same at all.
So this was like fun. And we get on, and then I fall asleep right away, just sitting up. And 5 minutes into me being kind of sound asleep, I get a grab on my shoulder and a Tommy Schneeman. So my, dead naming me, first of all. Tommy Schneeman. And I wake up and it's a lady I don't really know.
Great.
And I go, hi.
It's Brennan.
Take my headphones out. Hi. My manager's convinced me to change it like a year and a half ago. Why? What's up? I take my headphones out and she's like, I love watching all your stuff. And I'm like, this is a fan? She's like, she's pretty, middle-aged lady, like sharp haircut. She's like a friend of my mom's. Then she's like, oh, it's, I won't say the name. Just, I don't know. There's no way she listens to the pod, but she's like a friend of my mom's who's a real estate agent, was like my siblings' real estate agents too, and they all had a nightmare experience with her. They were like, she's way too aggressive. And I'm like, way too aggressive? Yeah, she just woke me up out of a dead sleep at 7 a.m. in the morning.
She's a nut job.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, Tom, she gets it in escrow and she closes.
And she gets that in escargot, and it is Clam City for the Schneemans.
Well, you can tell if she's calling you, if she's going by Schnee.
Yeah, that's why I was like, this isn't a fan. But also, like,
Schnee, but could be a throwback.
Could be a little throwback. But also, like, out of a dead sleep, so confusing. And
Also,
she,
wait, and
she
how are you?
reached across. I was in the window.
Have
She was
you-
boarding.
Oh,
She's
bored.
holding
Oh,
up the
so
whole.
she's holding up the whole line.
She's holding up the whole line, and her daughter goes, "Mom, come on, we gotta sit down." Her daughter didn't give a shit about me. Not a fan of the pod, I don't think.
Yeah, I was about to. We'll talk about the daughter off the pod, but she sounds like she sucks.
Dude, but like borderline 0 of the week because it's tough because intent is pure.
9/10 of the law, and the intent was good.
But also the action is waking someone up out of a full-on sleep and let me say this, she wasn't unaware that I was asleep because my mom got a text about 5 minutes later. I saw your son on the flight. He was asleep when I boarded. I said hi. You saw me snoozing.
You know, I want to chalk this up to just socially inept is what I would like to, because the intent is there, Tom. But here's the big problem. This is where the old T-Bone has a problem.
Okay.
Is she was only saying hello for herself.
Right. Yeah. She wasn't like, well, Tom's going to be pissed if I don't say hi to him.
You know, or it's not like, oh, he would love to see. She was only saying it so she could text your mom and say, hello, I saw your son. It didn't matter what you were doing.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly you were hitting the snooze button pretty hard.
Sound asleep, neck pillow.
Snug as a bug, first class.
These headphones over my ears. Well, noise canceling over my ears.
This is a terrifying experience.
Yeah, that's why I was like so red.
Charlotte, what?
And it was a grab. It was a shoulder grab.
Yeah, kind of like planes going down.
Yeah, dude, exactly.
Yeah.
And I was like, we haven't even taken. Oh, I've been asleep for 5 minutes, and what? And you're gone. I'm like, what was that?
Well, here's a big question for your fat ass, Tom. How quickly were you able to fall back asleep?
Pretty much immediately.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know, I'll chalk it up to no harm, no foul.
Hey, if there's one thing about me at 7 a.m., it's I am tired.
If there's one thing about me at 4 p.m., I am tired.
If there's one thing about me at pretty much any point of the day, I think I have low thyroid.
Yeah, your boy is sleepy as hell.
I think I'm clinically depressed. So,
well, Tom, I mean, we giggled about it the other day. For those that listen, you know, you have a little thought out in the world, and you'll jot a little note down into your notes app on your phone, and then hopefully you can revisit that note and expand on that note, and maybe turn that note into Bit City.
That note might have a one-way ticket to Bit City. It might become one of the greater thoughts of our generation.
Yes, exactly. I mean,
you write
a lot
these
of
things
them
down while you're sleeping. You write them down while you're traveling. You write them down while you're Tim's fist fighting his way through the subway system in New York City, but he's still writing down little bits in between.
That is correct. Well, and here's this is kind of an aside, but a lot of the things that I write down are more of poetry and less comedy. Do you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's observing life, and life imitates art, and it's hard to really draw the line between what you're writing and what like the universe is writing through you.
Is writing for me. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We need to put that on the meme page, but I was, because you look over some of these notes before you go on stage, because you're like, well, what if I want to rip a little new? And I'm going up in this New Orleans show, and it's just feeling like it's just this is I'm doing new.
I'm ripping I'm taking some youngins to Bit City.
There it is.
Yeah.
And I'm scrolling through, and I just see this note, and I sent it to you immediately, and it just said, maybe I'm not don't have wait, I'm sorry. Maybe I don't have depression. Maybe I'm just weak.
Which was written down as a comedic sentence and thought.
Where I thought, that's pretty good.
But comes through as, hey, I have unresolved issues with my father.
God,
that's how I read that one pretty much right away.
Bad. And I'm reading it in the back of this, and then, I watching this guy die, and then I'm reading in my notes that I'm just a weak man, and I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
God, I hope. And then I asked you what your New Year's resolution was. I think later that day, and you said to get more followers.
Boy, I was really in a spiral there for a minute.
I think we gotta make peace with. You're not a weak man, dude. Physically, yes, but mentally,
no. I would the other way. Physically, I'm an absolute specimen, Tom.
No, physically, I think I keep beating the shit out of you every time we see each other.
I gotta prove a point, Tom. You're like, all right, I gotta go over Tim's Fist fight him for a little while, then we're gonna do the pod.
Dude, nothing brings me more joy than telling an audience that I am a 6'9" jacked individual.
It's the most fun thing to do in the world.
I go, and you're looking at me, a healthy, like strong 6'9", just like sculpted guy, and
just a real. You can't see it through the shirt, but like
and
ripped.
a lot of people go. I see their heads kind of turn sideways.
Interesting.
It's been one of the greater joys of the past.
It's a slow burn. I mean, Timmy loves a slow burn.
Oh, it's not getting a pop. I'll tell you that.
Oh, but those are the ones I really like the most. Those are the most fun.
It's really fun because then you just stop and you go, guys, I'm 5'11". I'm 5'10", but I'm 5'11".
Your eyes are not deceiving you, folks. Yeah. I've been trying to do this thing where I talk about how like white men do have problems, and I can prove it because my dad is 6'5".
Oh yeah,
and that's a bit of a slower burn on that one.
Well, because they're looking at you and they go, man, this guy can't be more than 5'4".
Well, the problem is, and I think we've talked about this, Nick Cartwright, I'll kill you with my bare hands. But if I'm not short enough for that bit to work.
Yeah, because you're not like you're not comedically short. You're 6 feet. Aren't you 6 feet?
6'3". I would have to be like,
no, you are not.
No,
I'm 6'3" and I'm like 4 inches taller than you.
I would have to be between 5'2" and 5'4" for that bit to work.
For that bit to be like an immediate pop.
Enough sympathy. I'm not short enough of a guy that it elicits sympathy.
No.
You know?
Yeah.
But 6'5",
what if
boy,
you just said your dad was like
there.
a better guy than you?
Well, he is.
Yeah. That might not pop either.
There's like, oh God, maybe he does have depression.
Oh man, yeah. Wait, this guy's either depressed or just like weak as hell.
Or just weak as hell. Let's throw a drink at him and see.
Hey, does anyone have an unopened Miller Lite?
They're like, oh no, wait, we're in Chicago at the Comedy Bar. Let's just hum these tomatoes at him.
I would love to throw a tomato, like a foam tomato, at him.
In a fun way? No. I'm gonna really rip it up there.
No, it's meant to be when they're doing poorly. Yeah, if you guys have never heard, there's a show that I don't know, is it still running?
I certainly hope not. And now the more I think about it, I used to defend that show. I cannot believe we used to do that.
I used to tell people like, no, it actually makes you sharp.
It actually is. It's like a good exercise for humiliating yourself and being cool with it.
So humiliating at one of the clubs in Chicago, like one of the 3 clubs that you could say you were a working comedian at. Your first opportunity was to go up at a show where the audience had in the chamber, they had Nerf tomatoes that they could just throw at you whenever they wanted.
Whenever they chose. And hey, if you got the least amount of tomatoes, you got a $50 check.
And if you got the most amount, you got a $20 check.
$20 check. And let me tell you something. That's a dark $20 check to deposit.
Yeah, let me tell you something else. Parking was $30.
I'm just like shaking around on the brown line trying to deposit this check.
You just have like a little bit of a shiner from one of them that like came in extra hot. And you're like, man, comedy rips.
Ah, that's a pretty good set though.
That's like get sharper.
That's I think we've talked about this as well. There was one time where I was like, I'm never doing this again. Some girl goes up because the show is not for the faint of heart. Now that I look back on it, but damn, dude, I guess I'm not such a weak ass dude because I did catch a lot of tomatoes and just turned them into dust in my hand.
Yeah,
and then didn't cry at all when I got home. But there was like a girl that went up. It was like her 3rd time doing it, and I wanted to be like, hey,
no, this is the wrong show.
No, go hit an open mic. Things could go like
this
really
is gonna hurt
here.
Yeah.
And this is at like the stage of that show because they started off at the beginning of that show. It was like kind of fun loving. It was more of like it's like a toss, and then it turned into like, dude, I'm gonna throw hop this thing.
There was a couple former D1 pitchers, I swear, that would show up every week. It'd just be
they were on the comp list every week.
I'm like, does that guy have resin on his hand?
He's chalking his hands.
Who's calling signs for this guy?
He's up there throwing a goofball at you.
The owner of the comedy club is on the side going like,
giving him signs.
You're gonna want to throw high and inside on this guy.
Oh, fuck.
Like that one curved right at my face.
So this girl goes up, this poor girl, and she's like, she's a 3rd time open micer. She sucks.
Yeah.
She's nervous as hell. Of course she's bad.
Yeah.
And a mater comes in pushing 89 miles an hour and absolutely mashes her glasses into her face, and then they fall off. And you just see her lip and her
the
chin
quiver.
start quivering. And I'm like, oh no. And she just storms off. And I'm in the back and I'm like, hey, fuck this show. Like, just don't do it. And she storms out, never to be seen again.
Yeah.
Never saw her again. She could have been hilarious for what any of it. I don't know.
God. She might have been the next great. And instead, she took one Nerf Mater to the dome. At minor league speeds.
That thing was, I mean, it was coming. It wasn't like, it didn't even like have an arc to it. It wasn't even on the downslope. That thing was on a fucking rope, Tom.
It's like a little bit of an upslope, honestly. It's like where it like kind of picks up at the end.
I'm like, how's this thing getting faster? And man, did it smoke this poor girl in the face. I felt so bad. And then I got up and had a couple of hot riffs on it after. But like, it's a tough business, Tom.
Dude, it's a tough business where Tim mostly succeeds if someone comes close to death right before he gets on stage.
I'm like, oh, well. I guess it was in the stars for me tonight. I'm just setting people up for disaster. It's like kind of sawing the legs of stools down so people just absolutely eat their ass. Anyway, how the hell did we get on that topic? Okay, so you're on a plane, crazy lady comes and attacks you.
So I get that experience, whatever. Then the rest of the first class experience, it's so fun. I don't know.
Did you sleep through the whole thing?
No, I had to enjoy part of it. It's hilarious how much better they treat you in first class, though. Of course, everyone knows this. This is going to be a real
people like, wait a second.
This is not relatable at all. But the only comparison I can make is I think like maybe a month ago or something like that. I had a flight attendant who I asked for a double and he wouldn't give it to me. And he was like, if you need another one, I can get it to you. And then he didn't come back. And he was
I'm going to need another one.
He was our zero of the week that week.
Yep.
And you get to first class and this lady, I'm halfway through a drink and she's like, so what are we doing? Are we doing another round? That's what she told me.
Yeah, she's like, you want to do shots off my tits? What are we doing?
She said, what are we doing? Are we doing another round? I wrote it down word for word because I was like, the casualness of that was like a small town dive bar bartender.
Yeah, I mean, that rules.
And it made me, I was like, damn, this fucking rips.
What's the flight time? What are we looking at here?
5:30.
Okay, so it's a solid flight.
So I slept for about 2 hours and then I woke up and I go, guess what? Tom's ready for a screw.
I think that's a pretty appropriate breakdown of enjoying first class, getting a sleep, getting a bev, enjoying what's going on, kicking your little tootsies up. Were you chit-chatting?
Yeah, the guy next to me talked way too much, but I was chatting. It was his 40th birthday.
So why would he want to talk? You're 40, grow up, buddy. Don't talk to the people next to you. You're 40 years old. You should have gotten rid of this urge a long time ago.
Boy, I thought there was a chance you went the other way and said, Tom, celebrate the guy's birthday with him.
No, you're on a flight and you're a 40-year-old man. Absolutely not.
He was bummed when I went back to sleep because after I got woken up, then we talked for a little while and he had already gotten a beverage and I had a water. And he was like, well, it's my 40th birthday. And we like cheersed with the water. It's bad luck. Man, but like, then I went to, and I could tell he was bummed I was going to sleep because he was kind of like, well, who am I going to talk to now if I can't annoy the guy next to me?
Yeah, he's like, oh my kid, I'm actually not legally allowed to talk to my kids or my wife.
He also did this move. He was on the flight with 4 of his friends. It was for his 40th birthday, but he bought a first class ticket for himself.
Well, what if the buddies bought him the ticket?
No, he bought it. He told me.
Oh, he told you. Okay,
but
yeah,
also
this guy sucks. I tried to give him the benefit of the doubt.
But he's not like a rich guy. He saved up for this.
Treat yourself.
He's like a blue collar guy from a population 900 town in Minnesota.
How do you get on these topics with strangers? This is like a really interesting difference and just like the different, because vibrations are true. There is not one person in this entire universe that has stopped to just chat with old Timmy Smith. Not one. I got a chattable face. You do a very chat. People are like, let's see this little. Well, maybe this guy's gonna riff. This guy's probably got something going on. What you up to, my guy? Did the real estate lady say anything out loud about comedy?
Yeah, but he hadn't sat down yet. The guy next to me hadn't. The lady behind me said something. I couldn't really hear what she was saying because I was doing the one ear out the headphones thing.
She's like, "You doing new? You working on anything new?"
She said something like, I think she was saying something to the guy, to her husband, to the guy next to her, to her husband. But she was
The
like,
guy she's fucking.
she said something about a comedian. I don't know. Because the lady who woke me up, she goes, I love watching all your stuff. Were you doing shows in Minnesota? And then her daughter's like, Mom, come on.
There we go. There we
Uh,
go. But the guy wasn't there yet.
Then, so I go from being cocky for a millisecond where I'm like, I'm getting woken up by a fan. No, mom's
Boy,
friend.
these people are just, damn it. What's the word there? Insatiable. That's what I was going
Insatiable.
for.
Yes, exactly. And then I think my family's all singing a song at the same time in the main room right now.
Oh, I thought the real estate lady was banging on your door. I was like, is she back? The
Just-
hell?
Hand comes out of nowhere, shakes my shoulder.
Tom, wait, your family's
they're
essentially
like-
singing Kumbaya?
Yeah, they're doing. They're playing musical songs. They're just all singing along. We're a real
Incredible.
musical family. We're a real Von Trapp situation over here.
Is somebody
That reference.
playing, like, would somebody be playing the guitar and or piano right now?
We would be if we had any of them. That's my role.
Okay, so here's a question, Tom. You know, so you got what, 13, 14 people downstairs?
Yeah, not downstairs, right outside the store.
Right outside this door. So I would imagine this isn't the first time that song has broken out among the Schneemans.
No, we make a habit of it.
Okay, so how does that?
We have a
is
YouTube video with 400,000 views of us all singing a song from The Greatest Showman.
I mean, what the hell is going on? So tell me how this comes about. Is somebody going around going, "Hey, like, you guys want to like sing in a bit," or does somebody just like get it going? They're like, "What's new, pussycat?" And everybody's like, "Whoa, whoa,
Wow, wow. I will say like a couple of us usually take the lead, but like usually when we actually have a song that we can all sing together, it's for something. Like we like for like my dad's like 50th birthday, we all sang a song. Or like,
But it's like it's not Happy Birthday.
No, it's like a musical song.
Okay, so like, how does that start? You guys are all like, "All right, for Dad's birthday, we're all gonna sing Matchbox 20."
No, it's like a song from it's a song from a musical that my whole family loves. We all love musicals.
No. I get all of that. I'm saying, how is everyone agreeing? Like, okay, we're singing right now.
Yeah, it takes a little coordination. I mean, it's easy at my parents' house where we have the big old piano. If I just start playing, maybe one or two sisters come in.
That I totally get.
Yeah.
But
Right now, it's like someone probably just put on the song on a Bluetooth.
Oh, okay. And then everybody just busted out in the song.
Yeah, no one's sitting that one out.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
This is just a very foreign idea to me and the other members of my family.
Yeah, and probably the other members of Earth that are listening to this. It is a weird
Fair point.
Situation, but it's very fun and is one of my favorite pastimes. And honestly, shout out to my siblings who have had kids. They've ruined it because now
Poop in their pants.
No, you just always poop. No, now I by the way, it's just a little joke.
Just joking around for once.
1 through 4. I crave the years where we could have a couple cocktails. It's 10 p.m. We're sitting around the piano. We're all a little loose. We go, what if we scream sang Zombie by the Cranberries right now?
Boy, that woman, woo!
And that's a fun song where I'm like, you get on the guitar, you get on the box drum, I'm on the piano. This is gonna be fun.
And let's actually rip the Cranberries.
Yeah, and now it's like, well, there's a child sleeping above, so we could whisper the Cranberries.
No, that's you gotta scream the Cranberries.
You gotta scream Zombie. Otherwise, it's not even a zombie anymore.
What's the other?
It's like a guy with a cold.
It's like a guy with an obvious mask on. You're like, you're not a zombie at all. Wait, what's the other killer Cranberries song?
Linger.
It's not zombie. Linger. Woo! I mean,
Yeah.
boy, oh boy, that is just stone cold heat.
Do you have to let it linger?
I mean, just what an amazing. Also, these people, they write this beautiful music. This is why comedy can just never compete
music's way
with
better.
music. That's why you should go through my notes, Tom. It's a lot of really poetic.
Well, yeah.
Stuff.
Honestly, if the Zombies sang if the Cranberries sang a song that was if I'm not depressed, I'm just weak. It would probably be a banger.
Man, I really need to look inward after that note, Tom.
Yes, you do. Wait, this is the back half of my travel story down here. I forgot about
shit.
this.
Sorry.
This is one of the coolest things that's ever happened to me my whole life.
You got upgraded to the cockpit.
I got upgraded to pilot, and I got to fly the plane, and I tried to redirect it towards New York. I said that New World Trade Center is getting a little
Tom,
dirty.
come on, no.
Sorry. All right.
No.
Trying to riff. All right. Jesus Christ. I landed in Costa Rica. My dad came and picked me up. We got to run some errands on the way back to the place. It's about an hour and a half drive. We stop at a little supermarket in the middle of nowhere. It's like a, you know, the whole, the whole,
All right.
the
I
whole,
thought that was funny.
that was funny. It got me. This whole supermarketo was probably the size of like, I don't know,
Bodega size.
a big living room. Yeah, it's a bodega.
Okay.
We're in the checkout line, and a guy comes up to me, taps me on the shoulder. He goes, "Hey, are you a stand-up comedian?" I go, "I am." Yeah. He goes, dude, I follow you on Instagram. Big fan.
You're like, oh, say that again. Hey, Dad, say it again.
No, my dad was right there.
I was just doing a bit.
And then I know, but this is the point of this. Then I shake his hand. I go, "Dude, thank you so much for saying hi. That was the coolest thing that's ever happened to me." Like, we're in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
And he walks away. My dad goes, "So how'd that work? Did you recognize him?"
I mean,
I'm like,
let me
"Come
tell you
on,
something.
dude. Come on."
Dr. Nick will not give up a bucket. Will not give up a
That was-
fast break.
That was
wide
the easiest
open
bucket I've ever had.
He won't give it to you, Tom.
Dude.
Tell you something. That guy's humming a tomato at you the moment you think you're getting a bucket.
I mean,
Incredible. You know what would have been really funny is if he looked at your dad and he's like, "Wait, are you a doctor?
oh my God, I would have cried.
Wait, Dr. Nick of Suds?"
Unbelievable, but that was very cool.
That does roll. Hey, riddle me this, Tom. Costa Rica native
No.
hitting the vacate button.
Yeah, he was another American. That
Love
would have been that would have changed my. I would have.
I mean, that would have been. He's like, it's like broken English. He's just trying to say stand-up comedian. You're like, wait, what?
I would have been like, "Hey Tim, I'm sorry, you got to move out of Ridgewood. We're posting up. We have a huge following in Costa Rica."
Like, all right, what do the rentals look like? God damn it. That does rule. Shout out to Dr. Nick for not giving an inch. You love that. Well,
Yeah,
I don't know.
I
That
think
might
he was.
turn-
And then he did. And then about 30 minutes later, he goes, you won't forget about that for a while, though." Or no, he goes, "That won't get old for a while, probably." And I'm like, "Oh, you did acknowledge how cool that was. That was huge."
Took him 30. Took him 30 though. Come on, Dr. Nick. The hell.
Did you recognize him? Yeah, I recognized a guy who has seen me
Random
do
guy.
stand-up
I said,
before.
wait. Do you follow me on Instagram? Could have sworn I knew that face.
It's so incredible.
Oh my God.
And then I got one more thing in my notes here. I got
Hit
a
me.
0 submission from my sister-in-law, Megan.
Lay it on me.
Lady brings a dog on the plane.
Mhm.
Oh, but this is where I'm already starting to let me throw this out there just in advance. Intent matters. Let's just keep that in mind, listeners. Intent
So
matters.
does consent.
But
So does
also-
consent.
Blind ignorance also matters.
That's no good.
Yeah. So lady next to her on the plane. I believe, I can't remember if it's exactly right, but I believe it was empty middle seat, but sister-in-law's in the aisle seat. Window seat is a lady with a dog.
Okay.
Dog is in the case.
Okay.
Or like the travel little thing.
Right.
Dog shits immediately. Owner falls asleep.
Oh my God.
Whole plane smells like dog shit for the whole flight.
You know, this one's a tough one because this is kind of like the booger in your nose, Tom.
It's do you wake them up?
Of course you wake them up. Hey, the entire plane is bummed out because your dog shit his pants. Yeah.
But
you
I
nudge.
think she made a point to say they fell asleep like after it was like it had
It was
already
after the
smelled
poo?
like dog shit.
Oh, I mean, then you still wake up, but that time you wake up with like a glass of water to the face.
Yeah, full Miller Lite right
Yeah.
to the dome.
I mean, if it's post poo, it's flat out unacceptable. You're on the no-fly list from here on out.
You're a 0. Yeah.
Zero. You're a criminal. Like 0 doesn't even describe what you've done.
Air marshal should blow your head off right there.
I mean, that is like beyond unacceptable if she knew the poo had happened. If she didn't know the poo happened, she's hitting the snooze. She took an Ambien. I don't know.
Even if, but even, I think if you have another animal that you're responsible for, I don't know that you can just sleep through a whole flight.
Well, here's the thing. I think, people know their animals, and she should have either taken the dog out with plenty of time, or she should have known my dog's a nervous pooper, or he's got a bit of a stomach bug. All of those should have kept you awake the entire flight. You don't get to fall asleep if your dog's got a stomach bug.
Yeah, like if there's any chance of your dog pooping on this flight, you can't hit the snooze.
And dog shit we've discussed this, but it's really something different.
It's rank.
It's really that that's dog shit.
That's dog shit. Why does it smell like dog shit in a place that doesn't smell like dog shit ever? Like
that is not human shit.
It's so penetrating.
Yeah, it's like a burp in that way where it's sharp as hell. I mean, it's just slicing and dicing through the flight. Honestly, what do you think about this, Tom? I would
0 of the week goes to the dog.
Well, obviously, but the response. Where does the responsibility lie among
the person stewardess sitting next to you? Oh, stewardess.
The flight crew. Where are they involved in this whole shit in your pants situation? They got to do something. Isn't their whole thing about keeping the peace?
Yeah, I mean, the flight attendant, maybe that's on them to be like, hey, your dog definitely pooped. Or you pooped.
Yeah, hey, this is disgusting. Are we sure she didn't poop? Was there visible poop?
No, it was dog poop.
God, boy, I would be beside myself.
I'd be
with
so
anger.
mad. I would be so.
I mean, that's like I might throw a shoe. I would be like so mad. But you got to say something. Somebody's got to be like, look, it's either me or you, lady. But you got the clip-on wings on your uniform. You got to say something. This is unacceptable.
Yeah.
Do you throw the dog out of the window? I don't know what you do here. Land the plane?
I think you put the dog in one of the overhead compartments until it passes away, like that one United flight.
And then you just fly right into some turbulence. We're going to be taking a sharp left here, folks. This dog shit his pants, so we're going to make him pay dearly.
I also, one time I saw a lady bring her dog into the bathroom with her. And I was like, is the dog shitting in there?
Man, how would the dog know?
I don't know.
He's like, oh, finally.
The dog's like, I'm in a smaller room than I've ever been in my life. I'm not comfortable shitting here. Usually we go outside. Usually we go to a bigger place.
Yeah, you want to go inside a really small room? You want to go inside?
Yeah, you want to go inside? You ready to go potty inside? And it's like, there's no way. No, you're not holding him out over the toilet. So it's like, is the dog just shitting on the floor in there and then you're picking it up?
Maybe she... Man. But you know what? I would say she's in the right. She's taking full responsibility of the dog.
Right, because you can't leave the dog there, actually. Yeah.
Man, shit on the flight. That is like, I'm like sweating. I'm so mad. That would... I mean, I think I would open the emergency exit.
And just say, I'm sorry, I think everyone will understand. I think a jury of my peers will understand the scenario here.
I think everybody on the plane would be like, thank God.
Yeah,
fresh air for
once. A few people get absolutely sucked out and die. But everyone's like, thank you for cracking a window.
Man, what do you do with the poo? I was on our flight home. Oh, Tom, have you been to the Austin airport? This place is just, This is a place, this is my little problem with Austin. It's just a fully manufactured experience. It's like every restaurant is called like 24 on the Oak.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you're like, can we just get a Chili's to go?
Yeah, no, it's like one glass on the bar stool. And it's like, all right, thanks.
All that.
Awesome.
And it's so annoying.
14 tequilas and 1 to go. And it's like, no, you guys serve breakfast burritos.
Sorry, grape and cypress. Shut up. This is not like quirky or cool.
2 lanterns and a girlfriend. What?
I just can't stand that shit. And it's all that way. And then like that's what every place in Austin is to me. So we're just trying to find some normal restaurant. Of course, we end up stopping on like a place called like Brass Tacks or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Spend $700 on a brisket sandwich and a glass of wine. Oh, Tom, I was spending
Timmy,
money.
you gotta be Timmy Lounges. You have to take a one note from your friend Tommy Lounges, and you gotta get in the Delta Lounge.
I know, Tom. That's my New Year's resolution.
Because let me tell you what, the Austin airport has a great Delta Lounge. So I'm like,
you know what?
when
I
you brought
saw
that
it.
up, yeah, you saw it, you walked by, and when you brought it up, I go, I don't think I've ever been to that. Yes, I have, but it was just a good Delta Lounge.
Yep, I did see it, and I thought, well, let's go sit next to these other scumbags.
Let's go spend more money than I would have to have access to the Delta Lounge.
Tom, I don't know who I was cosplaying this month, but I was cosplaying somebody that has unlimited funds.
That's what I do
Because
for a month for the holidays.
I don't know. I just thought, hey, how many $300 dinners can we go to?
Mm-hmm.
Let's test the limit of my sanity and my finances.
And my
you
credit
want to know
card.
something, Tom? I'm in a lot of pain right now.
Yeah, it's hard to think about. Well, you start reliving those moments where you're like, I bought a round for the open micers who just got tomatoes thrown in their glasses.
Just some of these decisions I'm making here, Tom.
And what a vibe we're ending this episode on.
Hey, save your money, folks. Put it in a
This is a
fucking
finance
savings account.
podcast now, but it's not a finance podcast in the way that like you can get financial advice. The advice is mostly don't do what we do.
It's not what to do with your money. It's what not to do with your money.
It's what
Tom.
not to do with your money.
And hey, isn't that just as valuable?
yes, laughter is the best medicine also.
Some would say, don't even worry about seeing your doctor. You don't need insurance. Come to a show.
Don't
It's
worry
the same
about
thing as
trying to save people around you if they're passing out, seizing even.
who needs. This is so sad. All I can think of is antidepressant, but that's not it. And I'm also thinking an antidote, but that's not it.
Anakin,
What do you get?
Anakin
No,
Skywalker.
no. You go to a doctor and you just get a little, you got a little infection.
Oh,
And you just need a
antibiotic.
antibiotic.
God, I could have been a doctor, honestly.
You could have been. I was
Did
going to
you
say
hear that?
antihistamine, but I don't think it was.
That's for allergies.
You're just snapping your fingers, going, "Wait, what do you need for this disease?" Antibiotic. You need some
You
antibiotics.
need is it antidepressants? I gotta call Tim.
Anti-vaxxer.
Hold
Are
on.
you an anti-vaxxer?
Let me call Tim. Hold on, he'll have a good riff for this.
Oh, but yeah, you have 4 months to live.
Good seeing you. I'm doing. By the way, I'll be back here next month if you want to get tickets to the show.
You're like, wait, are you? Never mind. That was going to be incredibly stupid.
Oh God.
So
All right,
where are we at? I mean,
we're well over an hour. You guys,
Oh,
you got
shit.
some free time this week. You can Venmo Tim for that because he's in debt because of his dinner, and you can Venmo me for that because I'm in debt because I treat people that I've met twice as my lifelong best friends, and I simply need to get their whole family a round of drinks.
Why do we behave this, Tom? Why do we behave this way, Tom?
I don't know.
But
But we love you guys.
call your
and,
financial advisor. Call your family. I don't know.
Where are you going to
We
be?
love ya.
Where are you at? This comes out tomorrow.
I'm going to be in Chicago. Well,
Oh, Jan
no,
17.
I get to. Well, that's Jane said, but I'm going to get there on like the 15th and do a little shows, and then I'm hitting the
It's
dang
insane.
beach bug.
I
What?
leave Chicago on the 14th. This is so insulting.
I mean, that sucks so hard.
It sucks in a big way.
It's like insane. Hey, maybe you pre-record like a pod, and then I'll just listen to it and kind of like hit the ball back, and it'll
And
feel
we-
like a live pod.
Yeah, we pretend we're in there together.
There we go.
There we
But
go.
yeah, I'll be back in Chicago the 15th to the 21st, hitting the dang headline button, and then hitting the dang feature Reno for Nathan McIntosh show weekend. That'll absolutely slap.
And I will be there the weekend before, featuring for a frequently mentioned friend of ours on the pod, Laura Peak,
Love you,
at
Laura Peak.
Zany's Old Town. Come on out. And then after that, I will be in San Diego and Northern California through January, and a little bit of LA action. Little comedy store. Kelsey Cook headlining the Comedy Store main room in Hollywood. I get to hit the beach in there.
Oh, well. Now we got a little something cooking
Yeah.
here, Tom. All right. Hey, text your buddy Ricky Peanuts. We love you. Bye.
He married my sister, now we're living together. We're roommates in